What are you throwing at me?
Plain.
What?
Plain.
Plain white.
What race?
Where we going from?
Recording right now.
Right.
Welcome back to the Mr. Made Over podcast.
Hello.
My bad, it's not Mr. Made Over.
It's not. It is.
It's Made Over podcast.
Oh, my bad.
But I am Mr. Made Over. I know we've been gone for a long time. How long has it been? No, I'm gonna keep that all in there. How long has it been?
I don't know.
It's been
About
a while.
month
I'm not gonna
or
lie.
two.
So, those who have stayed with us in the midst of everything, we've been building.
Yes, we have.
Rebuilding. We've been rebranding. And as you see, it was PBK podcast at one time.
Ox Life U.
It was Ox Life U. That's when you came in.
Yeah, I did.
And now it's Made Over podcast on the Mr. Made Over YouTube channel. At the end of the day, listen, it all goes made over hand in hand. I'm trying to tell you, it goes hand in hand. I am the brother's keeper. I am Ox Life.
Yeah.
And to me, it just describes everything that God is building within me. And today we're gonna discuss what we've been up to. Trying to catch y'all up to some things,
Yeah, a lot has transpired in the last month.
School started. Let's discuss that. We're not gonna dive in on it, but we are going to discuss that. School started.
It did.
So that shifted a lot of the scheduling.
It did.
We got virtual learning.
Me too. We got homeschool virtual learning.
I'm like, we got that. You got it. What is it? On the field and off the field. So it's from your standpoint, because you're in the midst of you basically have both worlds.
I do.
You're in the school system.
I am in the school system.
And
I'm a parent.
You come home to the school system too.
I do.
So this almost 24 hours of school for you.
It is. 7 days a week.
How has it been?
Ooh. At first it was just like, this is not gonna work. Like, there's no way that I can go back into trying to function, trying to have it all together, so to speak, or feeling like I have it all together. And so I just had to come to the reality of it is I am a teacher, and I am also a parent in the middle of COVID. So the perspective or mindset I took was, first, I'm a parent. So as a parent, if I could choose how my child's teacher would respond to them in the middle of this new normal for us, then that was the persona that I took on. So how are my parents feeling? How are my students feeling? As a parent, we have discussed how overwhelming it was. I
wouldn't necessarily say overwhelming.
It was.
I'll put it to you like this.
It was what?
When we talked about the show on Change.
Well, yeah.
It was adapting to something that is, currently, like, this was, I think my wife talked about, forced change.
Right. And so this was a forced change. So for me, it was overwhelming because I'm having to play both roles. I'm playing the parent role, and then I'm playing the teacher role, but then I have to be professional because I am in the school system. So when I'm dealing with the teachers, when it comes to our children, I have to be mindful of how I'm communicating because I still have to be a professional. Mm-hmm. So for me, it's been, I'm just a parent all around first. So before I'm able to teach, in my mind, I am a parent. I am a parent to our children. I am an adult figure in the lives of the kids that I handle every day, the 100 and some odd. So I always go to, as a parent, what would I need for my child? That was the role that I took, because as a teacher, I'm like, I got to teach this lesson. I got to grade these. You can't do that in the middle of this new normal. So I had to be sensitive of, our kids stayed home, and we can probably count on one hand, like, how many times they went out and how many times they actually interacted with other kids. So as a parent, knowing that, it was easier for me to go into the situation that I'm in, because you're going to have talkative kids because they have not seen each other. They have not talked to each other. You're going to have kids who have questions, who are nervous, who have, just a whole bunch of things. So first and foremost, when I stepped into the classroom, I had the mindset of a parent.
But also, too, and I think whenever this thing lifts, it's going to be a lot of kids struggling.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I'm going to speak from the virtual learning side of, being there with the child. Now, listen. I have two daughters. So these two different age brackets, two different styles of learning.
Right.
Now my youngest, I sit in sometimes on her class. Well, in the beginning I did, so she can, learn and get the, the fullness of how the ropes go, But I'm trying to tell y'all, let these teachers teach these children, because once it's over and these kids go back into this building, I'm trying to tell you, you're going to find out that you crippled them by helping them.
Yeah.
I remember, I thought it was funny because the teacher asked the kid to draw some stuff. Draw this, this is this. I'm like, go ahead, I told my daughter, go ahead and draw it. So, she's drawing, little scribble scratch, how it's supposed to look like when you in pre-K. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not going to say no names.
Please don't.
But I remember a camera going dark. And all of a sudden, when the teacher said show the work, this kid is Picasso. Like, I'm talking great artwork.
But
I'm like, whoa, wait a minute.
And I think a lot of that though comes because
these kids are very smart now. They get straight A's.
It's funny. The biggest thing that, as a parent,
I think they said something about the parents taking the test for the kids.
Yes. So we were in our child's little welcome back orientation, and the teacher said, like, legit, do not take the test for your children.
That's funny.
But that's all across the level, because the kids had, and I get it as a parent, but we're hands-on to a certain extent. Yeah. So we allow them to do whatever it is that they have to do with the learning. We are there to just make sure that they're on at the right time, make sure they get their work done. Other than that, we just straight hands off. Yeah. I think when I had them in the building with me, it was a little bit different because I was teaching and I was doing 3 grade levels in multiple subjects. But I was a little bit more watching what they did because I'm not home with them every day. So me being able to watch closely what they did, I was able to come home and share, with you on this is how you do it this way, da, da, da. And it was just some things where you hadn't picked up on, but I did. And I think as a team, what we talked about togetherness before, as a team, we've just been kind of bouncing back and forth on what needs to be done and then the best way to go about doing it.
And but for me, I felt like everything was just, everybody was learning from this new system. And, people have a hard time trying to adapt to something that they didn't create.
They don't want that baby to fail either.
And I get it, but when they go back in that school, they're gonna be in the failing.
Right. And
you gonna little Johnny or little Ricky gonna
yeah, and I empathize with the teachers because it is a very challenging thing because we know when the parents are helping. We know we have all the information and previous test scores. So the approach, that's why I had to take the approach of the parent, like going in the classroom. It's like, I tell my kids, I love you like you my own. I just don't feed you, give you clothes, and give you nowhere to stay.
Well, you're a different type of teacher, though.
But yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. I'm a different type of teacher, but that was the mindset, and I think that's the part that I'm grateful for is that first I had to recognize where the child was, because there are some instances when we were all virtual where we knew that the child was not doing their work. And then now that child may or may not be in the building because we are on this choice model.
Yeah.
We're able to now kind of help those kids, but it was because sometimes they're lacking whatever they need and the parent does not want the child to fail, but it does cripple and hinder because it doesn't allow us to do what we need to do as a teacher. But I can also say this, because this is where I got to play both roles and I just got to be straightforward. As an educator and being in the education field for almost 14 years, I think I want to say something along that. Whatever. But being in it and then being around other educators and gleaming from them, one of the things that I see is that as teachers, some of us don't want to take the time out. I teach the way I teach because it was how I was taught, and then we have small kids. So I'm going to repeat everything. I'm going to break it down. I'm going to give explicit, instructions. It's just going to be repetitive. And so a lot of the parents did not understand that. And it was like, look, I get it. But every time there's a baby that logs in late, my job is to make sure I repeat them instructions, because 9 times out of 10, somebody didn't catch those instructions. Yeah. And so we're battling so much, but I learned patience. I'm gonna be real honest. Patience has been my biggest key through dealing with our kids and dealing with the kids in person and having to empathize with the teachers, because it's not easy trying to keep, if I taught PreK right now, I'd be throwing in the towel because,
What you mean talking about? First of all, listen.
You trying to keep the attention.
Listen.
10 minutes for an adult.
PreK is YouTube videos. I've seen it. I've sing it.
She does. Well,
they do.
They do
stuff,
more, but the interactive part of it is sing-songing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm like, man, I could have did that. But hats off to you. But the moral of the story is don't take your children's tests. Let them study. Like my daughter, she's smart. But if she doesn't study, and she has failed. When she failed, she was heartbroken.
Y'all,
she was heartbroken. But I tell you this, she stepped it up from there.
Oh my goodness, y'all!
This is real life.
Okay, so I gotta tell y'all about this, because see, this is like that story time.
What you talking about?
So I had Araya one Friday with me, and of course, Cole was not She was done, I think. She was done for the day. Just done. It was Friday. She was done. So she's like, Mommy, I'm going to play. I'm going to draw on the board. Okay, baby, whatever. Go ahead. So it was time for this weekly assessment. So I was like, okay, come on, stand right here. And I'm going to let you go ahead and do this assessment. So she logged in. But she was big mad. Mm-hmm. She was big mad. Y'all, she was so mad. I think I stepped out of the room and I said, don't submit it until I come back.
Yeah.
She submitted it. She failed it. I fussed. Sure enough, with my kids on mute on my Zoom. I fussed and I told her, I said, she failed, y'all. She was so hard. I said, you see this grade right here? It's F. This is an F. You failed it. I said, and then look, I said, it took you a minute and I think it was like a minute and 5 seconds.
She blew through that thing.
She blew through. I said, did you even read? She's like, no. I said, that's why you got an F. I said, and I'm not going to email your teacher either and tell her to reset your grade because she done already gave you the answers. She was so heartbroken. I laughed, y'all. I laughed, and the reason why I laughed because it was so me. I remember the first test I failed. I tried. Maybe I didn't try. I don't know. But anyway, I failed it. And so the idea of failing, she did not like the way it felt. And I think she failed another one with you, right? Mm-hmm. She failed another one. Did she cry?
I think that one right there.
That was a challenging one, I think, for her.
I think that would have been challenging for adults.
Yeah, it would have.
Me personally.
But I'm not. It was a science test, and I'm not a science person. So I was like, babe, boo, you tried. Don't worry about it.
Now, don't get it wrong. Now, my PreK.
Oh, she knows.
Now, she get it.
She gets it. So, but I think that's what sets us apart, and we've been told that as parents too, that we make sure that our child or our children get the necessary help that they need. Yeah. And that I think is very important. So there's a difference between doing the work for them and being there to assist. And so parents have to assist and allow the child to learn whatever is being learned. And then if you see them struggling, assist them more or reach out to the teacher.
And also just you have to be willing to let your children fail.
Oh yeah. But we don't, but see, but that's the thing, because when we were in school, we were allowed to fail. But in this day and age, failing is shunned upon. Like you can't fail. And I think that is something different, because I grew up, my mom was like, you need all A's, B's. All A's, B's. Okay, Mom, I got you. All A's, B's. First time I got a C, I was like, oh no. World crumbled. Got to college. Mama said all A's and B's. Guess what? Biology, first C. I cried. But I cried because I was failing that class. At first I had a D. And then I think I had to pass the lab quiz and get a D on the test. It was some weird stuff, but I got a C out of the class because I was able to ace the lab because it was hands-on, but all of the other information coming in, I couldn't get it. And so that was when I realized, like, you know what? If I tried my best, then my best out of biology or any science course, for the matter of fact, it's a C. I'm a C student when it comes to bio. I'm fine with it now. So that was that realization.
I feel like the moral of this story is, number one, adjust to what's going on now.
Yeah.
And number two, stop taking these children's tests. Let them draw. Let them draw. They have to learn. And at the end of the day, I mean, they're going to bump their heads. But parents, please do not cripple your children in this period in time right now.
And then empathize with the teacher.
Please do.
And then teachers, we have to be patient with the students.
Please do.
And the parents.
Especially me.
And we're teaching both now. We're doing hybrid and virtual. It requires patience.
Yeah.
Stop closing these assignments early. Let these children turn them in, please. Sorry.
But That's the virtual learning side. As you see, that's what took up a lot of our time right now.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's basically what we've been doing, virtual learning. We've been actually building on to the studio.
Right.
We have made some nice upgrades. I have took time out to actually build my own PC. Which
he did.
I'm going to show the video of that PC and the whole new setup and how everything is rolling. I mean, when I tell you guys, I've taken time to literally invest in myself.
Yeah, you have.
And in this COVID-19, people call it, a pandemic, but I call it a successful start of a great life. And putting things into perspective. We're starting businesses in the midst of all these things. I mean, God is literally, when I tell you, favor can be obtained, and we are truly walking into it. I can't give you a lot right now, but one thing I can tell you, we finna be rich. Is finna? Is that
you cannot say
wrong. That. We are about to be wealthy.
We're going to be wealthy.
But when I tell you, leaving a legacy, that's my thing, and that's what I'm on right now. If I die today, what do I have to leave to my children? I've been honing in on that and thinking about that, and I don't want to leave them behind
with nothing.
With nothing.
Right.
And I feel like if I do, and a lot of people are like, don't think like that, but I feel like if I leave them with nothing, then I failed as a parent.
Right. And I think you've been doing, an awesome job from juggling just everything, building so that we are able to come back to the platform and be able to do podcasting. I looked at you building the computer that was self-care. So self-care between the computer and editing and these fish tanks.
First of all, I love my fish tanks.
I do too. They're very therapeutic.
I'm gonna have that in there too. You guys will see our fish tanks.
We're all able to kind of get into our moments of just wind down time. And that's really a lot of what we've been doing too. So we have been, the virtual learning thing, which he's taking it by storm, y'all. He holding down the fort. And
to God be glory, because I don't know what I'm doing.
He holding it down. I'm just saying, hey, she got to do this assignment, that assignment, that assignment. And then just make sure whatever has to be turned in for a grade, that part's done. But he has been the best daddy teacher pre-K and first grade. Even though the girls in the beginning, they were like, Daddy's gonna be our teacher? That's so embarrassing, Mommy. What? That ain't embarrassing. Your daddy can teach you. But
I taught you the first time.
Right. So
who got you?
From that to coming home, don't wake her up. She one sleep and the other one is up. It was the big one that said that, just so you know.
I'll deal with her tomorrow.
But he's taking them on, I call them field trips, but to come home and they're knocked out, or at least the little one, she's knocked out. Or they're playing, getting along with minimal fighting and fussing. That's, for me, that's like heaven.
First of all, I don't play that.
And then, you cleaning and you cook, y'all, he's holding it down on top of everything else while I'm out being the 9-to-5 teacher out here. But, I feeling where I'm needed. So I do work. I help out with him with whatever it is. If I ain't sleep, we might catch a movie. So we've really been doing really good over this last.
Yeah, I think
it's been like a month and a half, I want to say.
Yeah, we've been
since y'all seen us.
I don't even want to say it's a break, because
it really was not a break. It was I
think being a break is doing nothing.
Yeah, we were regrouping, but we
My laptop said no more.
Yeah, we just couldn't come to y'all. Like, we tried.
You are not streaming. You're not doing nothing.
And y'all, that last one, I was cute too, and it just didn't it didn't work. So we have just been behind the scenes, just trying to figure out how to, as he said, leave something for our children, leave some type of impact on the people we come in contact with. Because for us, this is an outlet so people can see, like, hey, you're normal. Hey,
normal people, but
normal. But we still have to do,
live well. Yeah. I mean, wealthy lives. I mean,
so, and doing it the right way. I'll say that.
And I think it is good to see people and families come together. Mm-hmm. Husband and wife should always be working together. If the husband is pulling in one direction and the wife is pulling in the other direction, how do you get anything accomplished?
You don't. And we talked about that. Together. Yeah.
And I think we've learned even more. It's like what we talked about now is being challenged.
Right.
And now we excel in it. I've heard a lot of stories of a lot of people, just going through it in this time. And I truly thank God for molding us together.
Oh yeah.
And putting our minds in, in on the same track.
Yeah. And learning how to pause, because I know for me, being back in the school is always very hectic.
And doing good this time.
Yeah, it's always very hectic, but I've had to learn, like, hey, if I don't grade anything over the weekend, then oh well. Or if I come home that night and the girls are wanting me, or my husband is saying, hey babe, I want some time, like, I close the laptop and then, I just let my students know, hey, sorry y'all, but outside of this, I do have to be a wife and a mom. And I can definitely say that my parents and my students respect that. And I'll tell them, like, last night, I might have responded to y'all at 11 o'clock or 10 o'clock, but don't expect that every time. And I've received great feedback, but I think it's just because I'm very open and transparent as well, letting them know that I do have a family life and I do, pull towards you. Yeah. And so us communicating and then me communicating on that end has made teaching so far this year like this, because I'm supposed to be like spazzing out because it's grading time, y'all. Guess what? Whatever is not graded, it'll get graded. So I think that's what I had to learn is how to say family first, well, God first, and then my family, and come into this thing with an open mind. Okay, Lord, what do you need me to do today? All right. No grading. All right, no grading.
And also, I think it's good for, we'll cover bases probably like later on in different other podcasts, but exposure. And
oh, yeah.
And I think we talked about it in togetherness, who you around.
Yeah.
And it's like I've come across and building relationship with some fantastic people, and I'm gonna have probably a few of them on the podcast. But yes, we're gonna be having guests on the podcast. I guess we can tell y'all what's about to happen on this podcast and also on this channel. We have the podcast.
We have gaming.
We have gaming that is going to be actually on the channel.
We do.
And
I'm excited about that. I'm excited about the gaming.
It is crazy to hear a wife say that she is excited about the gaming. Listen, y'all better get y'all one of these.
I am. Like, I don't know how to play that game, but I'm excited. Like, I'm ready to see, like,
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I've been out the gaming community for a very long time. Because like I said, I've been building. I've been focused. I've been grinding.
And we're meeting, we're coming into contact with some people that
heavy people
are couples and the husband games as just an outlet with the children. So, that's been great. And I think too, I'm so excited because my students.
I love her. I love her students,
Y'all, I can't, I mean, yeah. My students, they keep it real. They hold it down. They are team, just say it like that. And they are not, shy to say, hey, try this. No, you need to do this. And why you want, like, they are just all, and I think that's why I'm so excited and stoked about it.
Team made over.
Oh, team made over. My bad. Oops.
Get us stalked.
My bad. All right.
But I'm very excited.
Yeah.
Man, this is gonna be gaming with a purpose for real.
The girls on the game.
Crazy.
Get them a controller that don't work.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, no, they'll be like, Daddy, this is not working.
Yeah, I'm gonna need
Daddy, it's not even plugged in. That's the kind of kids we have, y'all.
Kids don't fall for that stuff.
They don't.
Nah, it ain't working.
It's not.
We also have just adventures in basically growing these businesses, and we're gonna bring you guys in on that. Our upload time for the podcast will be every Thursday. The gaming channel, which is growing right now.
Right now.
Whether you know it or not.
All of it is just going to be on there.
That right there is not really scheduled, but it's going to be periodically throughout the week. I'm trying to do it to the point where the kids who actually, who I don't want to, start and then they be in class, because I mean, I've seen it. And they want to watch. So I'm trying to think of a schedule that's feasible for them to.
Yeah.
And just positive gaming stuff.
Yeah.
Putting positive energy out there, because everybody's so they're very you can feel the heaviness.
Yeah, you can.
In the air, and the confusion, the wanting answers. Just feeling boxed in. I tell you, don't feel boxed in.
Right.
It's like, it's either you got to recreate yourself.
You do every day.
I think it's important. Like, if you continue to do the same thing over and over, expecting change, that's just crazy. Was it insanity?
Insanity. Keep doing the same thing repeatedly, expecting a different outcome.
Change. Like how you do anything is how you do everything.
Right.
So that's why with this podcast, that's why it took, sometimes just to reevaluate, think about things. Okay, when I do the podcast, when I do anything, I put my best foot forward. Okay, I need to get a new PC because my baby over there like, nah, I'm good. Nah.
She was like, I'm done.
Stop playing
with me.
So I just said, man, let's just go ahead and do what we need to do.
And I'll just say too, it wasn't just, it took me saying, okay, babe, whatever you got to do. So, because I used to be the no person, like, nah, babe, not right now. Babe, we can't. Nah, babe. But I mean, when I look at the vision that he has painted, because it's his vision, but when I looked at what he has painted and the purpose behind it, it has been easy to say, yes, babe, go ahead. Like, because at the end of the day, I know that we do what we're supposed to. And so I don't worry about anything else.
It's good. No.
So, and I used to be the I ain't gonna say the penny. Well, yeah, I was the penny pincher, but I'm the budget person of the family. And so I know what's in the accounts. I know what can pretty much go out. But I've had to.
You got the budget person and you got the vision person.
And you got the vision. Yeah. And so
they gotta go together.
I had to pretty much say, this is what we have here, and then he would say, okay, this is what we have here, and then we had to basically come together on the budgeting part, and then me giving him inside of, this is what we got coming out, boom, 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 and then yes, we can afford this, but no, we can't do this. And that is kind of how we have built what we have so far. Yeah. Because it has literally been working together. And I mean, I know, I guess in my mind, I just think, okay, COVID has, when you look at it, it's all negative, right? But to some people, I said, to some people, it's all negative, just depending on what they're going through. Right. For us, it's kind of been up and down because we know of some people or have had people and family that have been impacted. But for us and our immediate family, it's brought that togetherness. It's brought that communication. It's brought the being able to be on the same page and work in unison. Because we normally like are trying to scramble and get it together. I made dinner tonight.
We'll post a picture of that.
Yeah, I posted a picture. It was so good.
Also, we've been working out quite often.
Oh yeah, and we've been working out together. Yeah,
I think we'll start posting videos of the workout. I'm trying to think. I wasn't gonna post my transformation because I honestly don't care. I ain't ready yet. I just love being healthy. I love being.
That's been the bulk of our time too. Is working. We work out to get as a family. Well, we work out, the girls play. Yeah. They might jump and do a couple of stretches.
They love it. You know?
But it's family. That becomes family time for us. So,
and that's why I named the channel Mr. Made Over. So you can basically be in the eye and see what everything we do as a person who is trying to as an entrepreneur and as a family man, as a God-fearing man.
Right.
I mean, just all around. And I believe it's enough entertainment over here.
And I'm and me just being, an asset to stand behind you in the middle of that.
That's both of you to say that you wanted to be consistently on the show.
Man, what was I, y'all? But I mean, I think for me, we lack seeing positive couples or a plethora of positive couples that are family geared, clean for the entire family. No. And I think that, I mean, we've watched some couples and they're good, but then, some things you just be like, ooh, that's kind of
have to do that.
Yeah. So we really, I think for us, we really are trying to not even be a household name, but be a platform that all family members can come and watch. And whether you need a laugh, whether you want a tearjerker, whether you want some real talk, whether you want some workout stuff, whatever it may be, then that's what we want to, that's what we want to do.
One-stop shop.
It's just having everything right there instead of having the multiple platforms to come. And YouTube is where everything is. I mean, hey. So that has been really what we've been doing lately.
So, I mean, we caught y'all up to everything that we're doing.
Inside scoop, a little bit, behind the scenes.
First of all, I want to thank y'all for sticking with us.
Yeah, because we still got like tons of views and some subs.
We do. I go show you that y'all really love us.
Yes.
So continue to hit that like button. Continue to hit that share button.
Share.
And subscribe and leave a comment.
Leave a comment.
But there's more to come. We here now and we ain't going nowhere. We got a full working station, full working studio. Do. Life is grand.
It is. In the middle of COVID.
So I mean, it's a wonderful thing.
It is. The shall be the glory.
Definitely.
It's just, and
for that person who is struggling in this time and season, season.
Yeah, it is.
Seasons come and seasons go. At the end of the day, you stay strong.
Yes.
You stay positive. Mm-hmm. Like, you keep tuning in.
Be encouraged.
And because, it's not as bad as you think it is. It's not as bad as you think it is.
And then you're not going through it alone either. So. Yeah.
And if you are going through it alone, get you somebody. Yeah. Accountability is a great thing.
Oh, yeah.
Find some good friends that can show you that there is a better way.
Right.
And if you want to, hit us up on our Instagram.
Yes.
To be somewhere around here. And reach out to us, contact us, and we can help. We are built to do this thing together, regardless of the situation, of the age, gender, color, whatever. If we do this thing together, it makes life easy. So, as we always say, keep God first, and the rest will be added. And we out, man.
We out.
Thanks for tuning in.